So I just got off a session and I want to drop in and talk about something really interesting that came through this session, which is the definition of what a mother actually means in the divine. Mother is not necessarily someone who births a child. A mother is a steward of light. What I mean by that is we have, to some degree, lost touch with how we value ourselves as women and how powerful we are as women and what divine feminine energy truly looks like. Information is light, okay? Light is information. Same thing. It's all carried on waves, on frequencies. Women, our role is to own our feminine energy so deeply that we are integrated internally. And we know how to fill up our own cup, give love and nurture. Fill up our own cup and give love and nurture. That it becomes this ever-evolving, eternal cup of life. It's the, what's that tarot card? 10 of Cups or 5 of Cups. It's this overflowing, fluid, abundant, utterly feminine energy. And imagine as we need the masculine, by the way. We need the internal masculine to be integrated as well. Most of the women that I work with had an emotionally unavailable father or parent in general. And if it came by way of masculine and you are a female, biologically, woman, okay? Biological female, meaning able to create life. You know what I'm talking about, energy, frequency, chromosomes, etc. And you didn't have the experience of what it means to have an internal value system in terms of recognition from the masculine. You created workarounds and strategies to make sure that you feel safe. So you will reincarnate your childhood to feel validated by a masculine, probably an older masculine, throughout your adult life until that pattern is healed. If you are going into a relationship looking for supreme levels of validation or looking at your masculine to fulfill some type of need in you that's coming from lack, then you are not running off of the power of your feminine energy. Chances are you're running around 60 to 70% masculine energy. And it can also be disguised as seduction energy, where you kind of get your man to do anything for you because it's disguised as a control pattern. So it's almost like he gets whipped into doing whatever he wants for you because it's easier to keep the family structure in line. Imagine that you are telepathically talking to your child. You cannot say anything to that child. Your energy speaks for that child, okay? You speak to the child through your energy and your frequency. Imagine you cannot say anything. They are these little light beings that you are creating a safe place for. Children scan their environment. They scan you and they stare, similar to animals. Animals scan you. They look for the congruencies, incongruencies energetically, and then they make the next indicated action and move. That's why people getting wildly attacked by nature is unnatural. Nature will go after weakness because that's part of natural order. Okay? If you're running victim pattern, fear pattern, weakness patterns, that will be accommodated by a predator pattern. It's not natural for animals to attack humans. It's natural for animals to protect their environment, right? So I say all of that because divine feminine energy seeks to be essentially controlled by a divine masculine, because the divine masculine's role is to create parameters, safety, structure, provisions. That's essentially what control is. It's like, I got it. So let's say swap out control for trust, which is the opposite of that. When I talk about women being submissive, my God, women lose their minds because they have been conditioned to think that that's weakness. It's not. It just means it's divine trust. Yeah? So the value system in today's society, women want equality under the guise of thinking they want to have the same opportunity. That's really what they want. Okay, cool. Early early feminism was a lot about that. Some good shit came out of that. Modern feminism gotten wildly out of fucking line. We've lost our value. We don't know how to run feminine energy in a safe way because we have been conditioned to think that we are unsafe around men. That has happened for a lot of women. Trust me, I have had my fair share of some serious bullshit in my life when it comes to men. I didn't trust women, I didn't trust men. Essay in every decade, you do the math, right? I still am getting a handle on what it means to run my feminine energy safely. It was only until recently where I really started to completely restructure my nervous system around my female energy. I was running super freak completely on my masculine energy and totally burned out. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. Right? And I was like, okay, I got the deep lesson. I'm super in deep gratitude. And then spent basically an entire month rebuilding myself. And so now I completely am running my company around cycle syncing. Any output is completely soft and nurturing, and I'm just operating differently, and I'm sure many of you can feel the sessions that way. You know, I'm in this too, I'm learning too, and I'm sharing what I'm observing, not only in the collective, but in life, right? In societies, in family systems, and things like this, and the people that I'm working on, in the patterns, in the data. So it's really interesting right now because a lot of women are wanting to have children, and they're later in life. And I always come back to the motive, because that need to want to have kids is accommodating an unmet need that you had in your childhood. We will reincarnate our childhoods in our relationships until we fix our patterns, all right? Until we correct our shit. Little babies will scan you. Animals will scan you. They will scan your energy. They will look for the incongruencies and congruencies. It's not about what you say to children. It's about what you say to yourself. If you tell your kid the sun shines out of their ass, and you don't believe it about yourself, they will pick up gaslighting. They will pick up that family, that the mother is not truthful or the father's unsafe in some ways, because if you think you're a piece of shit, but your child's gold, the child doesn't understand why it thinks that its mother, the shining star of the universe, is a piece of shit. Why would the child think that? That is unfortunate. That's incredibly burdensome. Now the child not only has to orchestrate its own internal constitution, but it's got to worry about making the parent happy. It becomes a burden. Your unprocessed stuff becomes a burden for your children. Very sorry that bomb just dropped on you. But again, motherhood in its divine essence is about modulating and being a steward for the highest form of light. Nurturing, love, balance, harmony, creativity, fluidity, spontaneity, creates an incredible amount of self-confidence in children. When they scan you, you're congruent. They feel really safe to take big jumps, to socialize, to have dynamics. Masculine has to have a solid female meaning a solid female in their lives, meaning that woman knows how to self-source. She knows how to fill up her own cup and take amazing care of herself and her energy. Her energy is number one. Then, honoring the masculine, fostering his masculine energy with her support and loving and nurturing frequencies, huge. The kids are going to entrain to that level of optimization, because that's what nature does. It works with each other to optimize its cells, to optimize its lineage. It's constantly evolving and getting better, because that's innate intelligence. Optimization wants to improve. We have not done that as a society. We have been using children to fill our own selfish, unmet needs. And now we have a collective, a cohort of kids that are fucked up, imbalanced, on pills, addicted, emotionally irregulated, unemployable for the most part. I'm specifically talking about the West, or completely ingrained in so much performance that they have paralyzing anxiety. And they're more alone than ever. They're confused about their gender. They're confused about their expression. They're confused about their sexuality. They're alone. They're solo. They don't want to be in relationships. They're in a constant state of learning, not in a constant state of connecting. We are in feminine energy and masculine energy kamikaze missions over and over and over again. We're being depleted intentionally. One of the things that has come to me recently is being able to heal the emotional body. It's probably the biggest reason why I focus so deeply on patterns. Not just because I'm fascinated by it and I love it, and it's innate to me and whatever else. It's part of more of my soul contract stuff, why I want to teach you guys this stuff so much. But we have to heal. We have to heal these things. So your takeaway from this is, why do you want the things that you want? Ultimately, the next incarnation for me is divine partnership. I wholeheartedly know that. It's going to be spectacular, and I'm looking forward to it. Because my full expression, deep down, and I know this to be true, it's already been written, kind of thing. Me wanting to express myself as a woman, fully as a woman, in my biological form with my energy, my frequency, is to be in reflection with partnership. To learn, to grow, to have the intimacy, to have that reflection back to me, and have the exchange of that. So check your motives, why you want things, and then check what you are afraid to lose if that thing didn't come true. And if everything you've ever wanted came true, can you actually register that in your nervous system? How is your receiving? How full is your cup? And why can't you feel it? If you actually don't have a feeling experience, then there's something going on with your receiving. You maybe don't feel like you deserve it. So if you can't fill up your own cup, and then you want to bring in, the motherhood label, you want to play out that simulation or storyline in your life, and you just want to give to something else in order to feel valuable, again, that kid is going to pick that up. And there's going to be a myriad of ways and strategies that kid employs to navigate its environment. People pleasing, burden, performance, not wanting to disappoint, guilt, on and on and on. Later, that backfires, by the way. You get the rebels, right? Multiple kids, one of them's going to be a rebel for sure. I know I was. I was like, I don't like this indoctrination and conditioning. I want to be my own person. That kind of thing. So, why do you want the things that you want? Can you feel it in your body space? All good to have all those things. Envision, right? I am envisioning and I'm creating the life that I want. I'm envisioning and I'm creating this experience, and I know that I'm abundantly provided for. These type of mantras are awesome. However, if you're creating this manifestation for yourself, manifestation in quotes, from a place of unresolved and unmet patterns and needs, it's something to take a look at. And my feeling is a lot of you know, right? Why you want the things that you want. All of that's amazing, because all of that stuff is already in the field for you as a possibility. You want to reconcile the internal patterning and the internal why within yourself first. You want to move any positive or negative charge to zero, and it's neutral. It doesn't matter if it comes true. It really matters if it comes true, right? You want to move it to neutral. The universe loves neutrality, because then you're just in a constant state of void, and it can just shower you with all kinds of abundance. This or something greater to come with grace and ease, right? You place your order. It's already so. And then you literally just grab a dress and show up to the party of your life. Whether or not that's being a mother, whether or not that's being a podcast host, whether or not that's having a business, or, getting off of line, or having a homestead and getting offline. You're doing it from a place of self-sourcing. You have your own autonomy. Imagine that there's like a ball of clay and all these toothpicks sticking in it. That's what it means to self-source. That's what it means to outsource. You are looking outside of yourself to establish what your own value set is. If that's the case for you, then there's still some work, right? However, conversely, if you look at a ball of energy, or let's say that ball of clay, and you open up the ball of clay and there's all these points inside, that internal, it's kind of like just say a dodecahedron, let's say, inside that ball. Those lines know how to self-sustain each other. It's a self-sustaining sphere. Not out of self-reliance, but out of you knowing how to fill up your own cup because you love yourself and you have deep levels of self-respect. That energy fosters a tremendous amount of energy. When you're in that space of yourself, when you're in your own power, people want to be around that. Children want to be around that. They just want to drink up that certainty. They love it. There's a handful of people I've been around where the kids just want to be around their families all the time, or their parents, because they're just solid, super solid. And it's amazing. It's super amazing. So I encourage you guys to play with some of these questions and then write down the things that you want, why you want them, and what you would be afraid to lose if you didn't have them, and see if it relates to an aspect of your childhood where there was a need that was unmet. Make the correlation and where you feel that in your body space. You start doing that on a regular basis, man, you just start accelerating your own frequency work that way. All right, you guys, I'll see you guys in another episode.